So I've been playing Medieval a bit recently as a result of looking into some of the details of the game, and I've been getting really into some of these historical battles. So I'm going to be doing Bannockburn on Expert here. I've already done it, this is my commentary after the fact, and this is one of my best ever executions of a battle in Total War, which is why I'm uploading it. So what I'm doing right now is telling all of my units to go back away from the English army. This is Bannockburn, so this is Robert the Bruce against Edward II. This is one of the most decisive battles of the Scottish Wars of Independence. So I've managed to pull back from being engaged, and my objective is to get across the bridge, but I don't want to run more than is required because the more tired I am, the less well I'll fight. This is one of those games, those Total War games, where stamina actually matters, which is why I like it so much. There's so much to do and play for and consider. As you can see, there's a massive army here, a lot of knights. They have crossbows, they have spearmen, they have men-at-arms, they have feudal knights. They have so much. And I'm just trying to stay far enough away from this army that they don't charge at me. But I don't want to go too far away because I've got to get across the bridge. And I think I've done it just about perfectly here. Anticipate that's a charge and I'm ready to tell my spears to form up. In this game, spears can do so much in the face of cavalry. It's really refreshing. It's not like Three Kingdoms where cavalry just shit on spears no matter what. You can play perfectly with spears and defeat cavalry almost perfectly. It takes ages, it's a really patient thing. Alright, so I anticipate that that's an actual charge and I'm ready to form up one of these units. And I've told all of my units to run because we're getting sort of close, like I think we're pushing it now with the amount of time we're using. So I'm telling them all to run, but we're still quite fresh. And this bridge is really important. We have to get across this bridge, and I think this is historically what happened as well at Bannockburn. There was a bridge and they let them cross it, similar to the Battle of Stirling Bridge. This is something the Scots always kept doing to nullify the cavalry advantage the English had. So right now I'm going back to telling them to just march and not run. And here they come. There's a unit of crossbows there that are starting to shoot across the river. And all they'll manage to do is kill a couple of peasants. There you see it, a couple of bodies. So now I'm grouping these up and telling the spears to hold formation in a second. So this is where I want to fight. It's in the open, so my spears can actually form up into spear walls and present an effective barrier to this cavalry. But there's also trees nearby that I can use for the clansmen, and that's the objective. To have spears out in the open but not taking fire from projectiles to negate the cavalry in the open, and then I'll have trees that I can fight in with my Highland clansmen, which are extremely offensively capable. They're like shock troops, some of the best offensive infantry in the game, but they're extremely fragile. They have to be used offensively. If anything shoots at them or charges them or attacks them, they just melt. I think they are lightly armoured, two-handed claymore infantry. Alright, so here we go. I'm trying to position some really deep spear formations here and put them close to each other so they protect each other's flanks, and using the building to protect the flank there as well. And I'm putting the Highland clansmen behind, getting the peasants behind. So I've got a unit of peasants, 3 Highland clansmen, a unit of knights, and 2 spear units. And I'm trying to use everything. So there you see there's a patch of trees down to the right. There's a unit of spearmen at the front. If I can charge those spearmen with my Highland clansmen, they will melt. But my Highland clansmen can easily get charged and die. I need to be really careful with them. I need to have a perfect fight to use Highland clansmen well. I have a lot of them. They can do so much damage. They really can do a lot of damage. I've only got about 200 men, 220 Highland clansmen. Alright, here we go. So there's cavalry charging the front of spears, and you can see now the spear pushing animation because 3 ranks of spears can fight the same target. This is how they work. So you need to have formations. Formations actually matter in this game. So they should be tired. I should be quite fresh with most of my units. And I'm now sending my chivalric knights to get a charge into the flank there, because as you can see, that's the only place where I'm taking casualties, in the flank of my spear formations. And then I send the Highland clansmen in to deal with those spearmen that they've sent, and I'm pulling out the chivalrics. So all I was doing there with the chivalric knights, Robert the Bruce, was protecting the flank of the spear unit and getting some kills on stragglers at the side of the formation. But now my first unit of Highland clansmen are in there and are fighting against spears, and they should be doing well. And as you can see, I'm not getting attacked by the whole army all at once. They're having to file across the bridge, so they're coming at me some at a time, and that gives me some control over this fight. And that's the spear unit broken, but there's still the unit of knights. And if you look at my spear units, I've only lost 10 in one unit and 4 in another unit. And there's a lot of dead knights there. So I've had a really good fight so far. I've not lost any of my Robert the Bruce chivalric knights. I've only lost 10 men and my Highland clansmen. So my losses are real limited, and if you look at the top left, you'll see the green is my kills and the red is the enemy kills. So my KD so far is really, really good. So I'm fighting a really clean fight so far. One of my units of spearmen are quite tired, the other one is quite fresh, and they're pulling back. So this gives me a chance to rest while they're running. So far so good. This is the cleanest start I've ever had in this battle at this point. It's really patient, everything matters, every little detail matters. If I get flanked, I can take 20-30 losses in a charge in my spear unit. So if they go off to the right and charge my spears on the side, I'll lose 20-30 guys in seconds. But as long as I hold this front and present a static spear wall, I'll take relatively few losses, around 96 and 90. So that charge has been absorbed, and they're pulling back. See that? See the hit and runs that they do? They disengage so cleanly as well. How many did they lose there? And I'm trying to use my spears as a charge absorber so I can get opportunities for my Highland clansmen and my chivalric knights. But they're all forming up now. There's a massive wall of cavalry. Man. I think they might have only lost like 1 or 2 there in that charge, and I lost nothing. They have some men at arms, so they have some actually decent infantry coming, and of course they have knights. So I need to be really careful now. I need to not get directly charged with anything. I'm pulling back, and I think that they might be caught on my spears, so I've now got to take this chance. I've now got to commit to this. And then I've got to send some actual flankers out. So this isn't a perfect fight, but this is a decent fight. They didn't get a clean charge, they couldn't accelerate and catch me, and I've now got really aggressive infantry taking the fight head on while my chivalric knights go for a flank. So this is really controlled. My spears are defending the front, the majority of my frontage is defended by the spears, and then I've got Highland clansmen pushing out in the flanks, and they're really concentrated. And they're sending units fleeing as well. So if I can get charges with them consecutively, I can do really well. And that's the idea, you cycle them, so you pull units out that are tired and have charged, and you send new units in. And that's really important at the Battle of Stirling Bridge as well, which I might do after this. I've still only lost 1 horse in my unit of chivalric knights, and now I'm pushing out. I've actually done really well here to push out, and now I'm into the trees, which is what I really wanted. So now there's like 3 or 4 units of cavalry that can't charge, they're all blocking each other. Meanwhile, I'm hacking through the front of them with my Highland clansmen. And that's why I'm not disengaging, because if I disengage they can charge. They can't really move at the moment. They're all just packed in, and they're in the trees as well. So their formation is disrupted and they can't charge. And I'm coming downhill into them in the trees with Highland clansmen and chivalric knights that are going through the side. So this is actually a really good fight. Having the chivalric knights there helps so much as well. And look at the kill-death ratio at the top left, it's actually going even further in my favour. This is such an exceptionally clean fight. This is unprecedented for me. I've tried a lot of things in this battle, and this is the most optimised fight I've ever had so far. And I know it. I know it by now. And there's the crossbows at the back. They haven't even been able to shoot because they've been firing through their own ranks and through trees. And now I can go for it. I think this is such a decisive push down into the trees that I can send out my spears to flank from the other side, while my chivalric knights, Robert the Bruce, goes in through the right. And now they're going to be getting flanking morale malices as well. So I've got to just commit now. And that's a whole English army that's now been destroyed. I didn't even kill Edward II, I didn't even kill him. That's what makes this even more spectacular. I haven't even killed the general yet, Edward II. There he is in there. I absolutely destroyed this army with the pure tactical advantages that I was able to find. And any second now he'll die and I'll just go quiet and have my live commentary kick in. Because I was so focused I wasn't talking. Or there he is in the fight. Any second.
The enemy general reveals his true colours as a coward.
Holy
and
shit.
flees.
Oh my god. Six losses on the chivalric knights. Holy shit. They did so much. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what you can do on the hardest difficulties in Medieval 1. Holy shit. If anyone's ever done better than that, I will be absolutely stunned. Holy shit. Look at the KD on those clansmen. Holy shit, 6 KD. 6 KD on each of these. This one had a KD of nearly 10. Holy shit. Holy shit. Chivalric knights, mostly killing cavalry in the flank. That's Robert the Bruce right there. Oh my god. That was beautiful. Beautiful. If you're a fan of my work and want to show support, then I have a Patreon page. I do my best to reward perks, including monthly updates on what I've got planned. Thanks to all my patrons, with special thanks to Matteo Olivetti.